Welcome to another beautiful day out here at the river house. Once again hiding behind the actual river house, or at least the current river house, because the wind has come up. I don't remember it being quite like this in the past. This is much windier than it's been in the last few years as these various pressure fronts move through. But you'll notice that it is February and it's well above freezing and there's no snow on the ground. So once again, I'm not going to complain, at least for me personally, because it allows me to get up there and get some work done. Today is all about cleaning up the rock. Cleaning up the rock that Dad helped me chisel loose, cleaning up the last little bit of dirt that's going to be in the way of the foundations, and maybe, just maybe, sort of testing a few ideas as to how to attach the footings to the rock wall itself. You know, we're got a bit of disagreement between the fathers, my father and Danny's fathers, both builders, and the various ways we've been looking at doing this. I think we're back to pouring a footer and having a cold joint, a stepped footer, right? And we know that that'll end up with a cold joint, but I've got some ideas as to sort of how I can put like Lego bricks in the forms, essentially, to physically tie the two together. And of course there'll be a phenomenal amount of rebar in there anyways, but that does seem to be the winning option, is to pour a separate footer. None of that matters right now because I got to get it cleaned off. I also leveled all that dirt that Dad and I moved. Dirt. It's like 80% hard rock. So leveled all that rock. It's not super smooth, but I think it's more than enough to get everybody up and down the hill. And it'll keep us going at least for a while. I bought some lumber to build the rest of the prom stuff. I need to take the track roller back off the excavator and grind some reliefs in it. If I bother to show you, you'll understand. If not, it's not that important. I don't know. Got a lot of stuff to do. Better get on it. I decided to stop here alongside the excavator and give the old girl a greasing. You know, it probably doesn't need it. I over-grease all this stuff. You can see it oozing out, but whatever. Mess is free. I took a moment to sort of check it out, check it over. Yeah, that probably ain't good. It spit both bottom kingpins again, or it spit both bushings. That's all pretty standard. I mean, we knew all this crap was just worn the frick out. Not a big deal. What is a big deal is the frame is cracking on both sides on these mounts, on the frame rail mounts. So you can see that line right there, I assume. Yeah. First I thought it was a scratch, but it's not. It's not a scratch. It's cracking. I'll have to address that at some point. My automatic dust abatement system appears to still be operational. There's one of the application points right there. Still be operational, no more or less. And once again, it's turned its oil that same chalky gray color. Well, not as bad yet. And I have no idea how long you've been watching the channel or how much you care about the old Case 530, but you know, I gave it an oil change with modern detergent oils, and then I checked the oil after running it for just a handful of hours, 10, 20 tops. It might have been 30 hours on the oil. and it looked like the motor was done. It was just silver and milky, and it was just flushing all the carbon out. So it looks like that's going to need to be done again. But otherwise, fix-it fairies haven't come along and worked on it in my absence. But I can't fault how well it runs. So here's the rock we moved. I flattened it the best I could with the excavator and then drove up and down on it a bunch. I got a hump up there that needs to come down into this small swale right here, but you can see that the entire road is far less steep now. We'll flatten it out with the cat when Dad gets back. They make a trip every year to Mexico to do their medications and get their teeth worked on right across the border there, because American healthcare. Anyways, when they get back from that, we'll hit this pretty hard, and Dad will bring the cat up and smooth it. It needs to be wider, so I really need to yank these out, these two trees, and extend this slightly. I don't want to lose those, that's why I uncovered them, but it's going to break Shay's heart for me to take these down. Why the kid picks the most Charlie Brown trees to get attached to. But as you can see, this corner isn't wide enough yet for a cement mixer. It needs to be swept more, probably out through there and around, and then it would be wide enough for a cement mixer. It is wide enough for me today. So let's go get on it. It definitely turned out not to be the very best day to do this kind of work, but at least I stayed cool. So here I am cleaning out that long run in this sunken sort of area, and the problem there is I've got a bit of a dirt bank that I sort of encroaches, and I don't want to go too far into the dirt bank because I'd really like to not lose that tree, even though everybody kind of tells me I should take it down. So I don't want to use the equipment and get into its roots. I was just doing a little bit by hand. You know, some of this rock in the center of the house, I suppose, could really just be left there. I'm going to build over the top of it. But the idea of crawling around on it, the idea of just leaving all that below the house, I guess I don't really see a purpose. So maybe I'm getting it a little cleaner than it needs to be, but certainly not clean, just removing the big rocks and stones. Now I'm working on the far side, and the problem over there is, that's where the rock wall intersects the dirt, and I don't know exactly how far into the dirt to go, so I've kind of just been picking at it slowly, and this corner over here, it becomes apparent that I really just need to get the machinery back out. It'd be a whole lot faster than shoveling all this by hand. So that's what I do. I didn't even notice that the dump truck continued to roll down the hill. It's a little sketchy, a little scary. If I'd have noticed that, I'd have run up there and put a rock in front of the wheels. I thought she was going to stay there, but it didn't go too far. I assume that's just the low compression in that old motor. But by now the weather was really starting to nail us. I think we're done for the day. Sure doesn't look like we accomplished much. But Now I can get in there and clean out the last of that. I don't know, dustpan and a vacuum cleaner maybe, and start mocking up forms. Let's see, the view. At the kitchen windows will be that one. And you can't see the living room view because all the stuff's in the way. But yeah. Sure feels like I did a lot, even if I didn't.